guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well today. We're having another beautiful fall day, which is perfect for recording. I was debating what to do for today's topic, and I was looking through my handbag shelf and decided that I want to talk about micro bags and mini bags and whether these are still in trend. And I think part of this is to help me decide what I want next in my collection. If you have been following my channel, you know I have sold quite a few items recently, and I'm ready to make another purchase. It could be a big purchase or it could be a small purchase, and it could be a big bag or a small bag, so I haven't landed exactly on that yet. And I'm hoping by recording this video, talking to you guys about it, doing some mock shots, I could get a bit of reaction from you. I could see myself again in these beautiful bags and kind of help guide me a little bit on my decision for my next bag purchase. So I sort of organized them in a way based on their capacity. I know one of the bottom minimum basic rule for a lot of you guys out there is the fact that it has to fit a phone. Now with the phone, it comes in a variety of different sizes. If you have a ginormous maxi phone or a brand that has really a substantial size phone, then a lot of these bags actually might not work for you. A lot of them would, but again, I feel like, honestly, I think it could be the fact that I'm pregnant, it could be the fact that we're into the winter month. I just have not been reaching for a lot of these micro bags for some time now. I have been using a lot of my 19, I have been using my classic flap, I'm using like things that are just a little bit more practical, like in terms of size and capacity. I just think, you know, you do want to, not only that you want to make sure your items fit in your bag, but also it's comfortable enough for you to get them out of the bag. So I do feel like that's something I have been looking at more closely these days. So that's why I kind of want to do this assessment, I guess, or this recording with all my micro bags. So, like I said, the bottom rule for a lot of people is to fit a phone. My phone actually fit in all of them except this little chiquito. So I do consider that myself quite a bit too. It's not a deal breaker for me per se, but again, it's a lot more convenient if your phone does fit into your bag. My phone actually fit comfortably into this mini pochette as well. This is technically not a bag, but I do use it like a purse. I've talked about this quite often, and you guys know how much I love my mini pochette. So that's why it's in the mix today here as well. So let's just start with the tiniest one. And like I said, I think I do want to use this opportunity to take some mock shots of myself carrying all these bags and just kind of have a feel of how I still look in them and how I feel in them as well. So I love this mini chiquito bag. It's I think one of the reasons that I love it so much too is the price point. Another one key factor that I should mention is obviously choosing between a large or a small bag, depending on your own frame, depending on your own size, depending on your own style. Another things to consider, if you're like me on a budget, smaller bags are generally cheaper. Sometimes the range between different sizes in terms of price point could be quite narrow, but sometimes there is a pretty big significant price jump between two sizes. So I do think that is something that people do think about and gravitate sometimes towards more like a nano size or a mini size if they think the mini size is cute anyway and kind of suits their overall aesthetics. But so I think price is something to consider as well. I mean, definitely the mini bag trend was still going very strong recent years, right? Like we have the micro mini Dior, which is so cute. They already have the mini saddle bag. You know, they're all very cute and very attractive when you look at them. But at the same time, there's also the new nano puzzle. I feel like it's becoming a little overdone. Like every classic model, they just come out with an even tinier version of it. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's a bit overplayed, and I think at the end of the day, at least to me, I do still see it as, I do still prefer my my bag to be a functional piece. So at the end of the video, I will talk a little bit perhaps about why I don't think a mini bag is suitable for you, or why I'm also debating whether I should be adding more smaller bag in my collection. Anyways, with that said, so this is my Jacquemus bag. I got it for a fairly good price. I think they do go on sale. Jacquemus brand just really go on sale quite frequently. This one does not fit a phone or anything for that matter. You can put some card holder, like picture it as a card holder. There is a bit of room for you to squeeze your cards and your keys in there. I have a pretty detailed review and what fits video, so you can check that out. I used it a lot when I first got it because I just find it so cute, and it goes with everything I own and every outfit I had. I was able to like just strap it on. Now that I'm pregnant, I do find it a little awkward. What do you guys think? I have to admit though, like among all the chiquito size, the mini is still my favorite. I know the medium is gorgeous. I have the one in large, but for whatever reason, I just have a special thing for the mini. I think that is the one that got the huge hit on internet. That's the one everyone is the most controversial and everyone talks about. I personally think the proportion looked the cutest and most natural in a way in the smaller size, because of the large handle. So I personally love this one here. Yeah, I mean, this is such a good price that I really don't care. Like, it's already cheaper than most of the card holders or anything like that. I am trying to reduce my collection, as you know, and try to focus on Chanel and maybe Hermes at some point with my collection. But there are a few brands that I just still love, and I can't really just like can resist them. Like there's Dior, there's Loewe, there's Bottega. Like there are a few that I still just kind of gravitates towards regardless. But try to be mindful when I'm branching out too much, because there are so many different fashion houses that you can tap into. So anyways, this is my mini chiquito. I don't really have much negative things to say about this bag. I think there's enough roast on this bag already as is. But if you can find a good deal and you like the look, you like how it accessorizes for your outfit, I say go for it, because in terms of the quality of the bag and you know, like how it's made, I think it's worth that $300-400 that you can spend on it. But do wait for a good deal on these, I think. They also come in a variety of colors, and I think the white, tan, those neutral colors are really cute, but black is really the one that will go a long way, I think. The wear and tear is pretty reasonable. You can check out my review videos. I haven't used it too often, I have to say, for quite some time now, but I definitely love it, and once in a while I'll think about grabbing it. Does not fit a phone, so your phone has to go in your pocket. But yeah, that's my first micro one. The next one actually fits also quite minimal, but it does. My phone is able to go in there. Is very similar from Jacquemus. It's the Bambino bag. So, or actually these two are very similar, you know, even though it looks like the mini pochette is smaller, but I actually think you can almost squeeze the same amount, if not a tiny bit more, into the mini pochette. You can tell because the side is, I mention this all the time, it actually dips in a bit, like into a triangle shape. It really doesn't fit a lot, and because the closure isn't magnetic, if you just overstuff the bag by a little bit, it would, the flap wouldn't close properly. But this bag, I love it because it's a top handle bag, and it's like really the only white bag that I have in my collection. So if ever I want to go like all white or something like that, this would be my only option, which I almost never do. But even if I want to use it on a lighter color outfit, and I just love the top handle. I love the fact it can fit my phone, and it has a nice like card slot in the back. So that's essentially all you need if you are going out for something quick. You can probably squeeze in a little lip product and your hand sanitizer and your keys. That will probably be already too much, because anything fuller than that, your lip flap will tip open. Not all phone will fit in here, only the smallest phone, like if you have a phone like a 10 or what is the newest one, but like those very small ones can fit in here. So it's not like, it wouldn't be suitable for you if your phone is like on the larger side. I mean, a lot of girls now are buying the folding phone, the tiny square one. That one might be able to fit in here actually. But yeah, so I think most people are not quite there yet, or wouldn't just buy a phone for that purpose. But I would say most of them wouldn't fit in here. I also did a pretty high level review on this bag. Not a bag again, I didn't use a ton. It's still in brand new condition, but it is really cute. It's slightly different than your chiquito bag, but also really nice in terms of color, the look, their strap, nice craftsmanship. I was able to get a pretty good deal on this Le Bambino as well, like 400 something, so still a bit of like about $100 more than the chiquito, but again, haven't used it a ton. And now I'm thinking back, I feel like part of the reason why I have not used either of them for too much is mainly because they're too small. So they do come in this beautiful smooth box calf leather, so they are kind of prone to scratches as well, so that's something to consider. But again, given the price point on these, I still think they're good buys. I would like to have them as options in my collection to style with, so not, you know, not too fussed about them. Now this one here, given the recent massive price increase, I honestly don't think it's still worth it. In Canada, it's going for $690 plus tax now. On the resale market, you see them at $800. It's just a bit ridiculous. I don't know, because if you guys know this bag at all, it's like has nothing inside really. Like it's one thin pocket. I got mine quite a while back for, oh my god, 300 something, and that was only like a couple years ago. I think again it's similar to all price increase reason. I actually did watch a few price increase videos, and some of them are actually quite interesting to watch for different analysis and rationales of why things are going up in price. Regardless, I mean, how does it do us any good knowing the reasoning behind all that, right? But regardless, I still love it because you guys know I have the matching monogram strap to go with it. I do rave about this bag. I also have a video on why you shouldn't be buying this bag, but overall I think it's a very classic piece, easy to use because of zipper closure, the design, the silhouette is just very basic, very classic. It fits my phone and a little bit more. It actually fits a phone and fits a card holder. You can hook your key pouch on it. It really can be functional as a basic purse. So do check out my other videos where I talk about this a little bit more in detail. I don't have my strap on, but I think I've really done enough like mock shots of this one. You can easily check out in my other videos. I'll link them down below. But this one here is probably one piece I will retain in my collection for quite some time now, just because I know if I give it up, I will not be able to buy it at a cheap price, and I refuse to buy one at $800 for this one. So yeah, I'm not gonna plan to let this go anytime soon. If anything, I might even add a Damier Ebene one. I'm not sure yet, or even another monogram one. What do you guys think? Is it too much? But yeah, it's a super cute piece. You guys know I recently let go of my Damier Azur one, and that one I regret a little bit that I let it go, and I let it go for a really cheap price. I must be not thinking properly when I did that. But really it comes down to that light color. I just felt like I don't really need it. I have not really been using this one too often these days as well. So that does come into play. I think all this reasoning, I'm just looking at my shelf and realizing I haven't touched a lot of these bags for a while, except this one. But, you know. So, anyways, this is my pochette. Okay, I think I've talked about this one enough that you guys don't really need to hear more about it. Next in line in terms of capacity is probably my Marmont bag. And this bag, I actually have to say, I did a recent review of this bag that got quite a number of views actually. I'm pretty surprised because I thought this bag is quite over, like out, no longer trendy, but there's still a lot of people considering it. And you do find this bag quite often on the secondhand market. So I do think I do have some stuff in here. I do think if you don't mind buying secondhand and considering this bag, secondhand would be a really good option for you. It could be used as a clutch, it could be used as a belt bag, which I love that option. And it's just a very easy flap closure bag. The closure is a little bit tricky and sometimes and I feel like if you use it often and keep squeezing this way, definitely you're gonna start losing the structure down here. Not too bad so far for this bag. I have to say it's quite well made. I like the leather on it, even though it's a smooth calfskin. Never really had much issue with it. I like the crossbody look. You can easily adjust the strap length as well with this bag. And this bag actually holds, it doesn't hold a lot, but I feel like it holds enough for you to go out for a quick run or go out for a little bit. I like the gold chain detail, the Walmart logo. I think this color is also quite easy and neutral to style with. This one was also a really reasonable price when I got it, around, I don't know, $800–900 Canadian. So it was a pretty good purchase for me. I've used it quite a bit. I haven't used it so much lately, but it is one of the easy bag that I feel like I could easily grab and go with. The I might not be able to wear it as a I'm not able to show you how the conversion works now because I'm pregnant. But if you can check out my older video for that belt bag conversion. Super easy, the easiest belt conversion bag ever. And you can also use it as a clutch, but I like the gold chains on this bag. So yeah, highly recommend this bag. I don't have much negative to say about it. I don't plan to let it go from my collection anytime soon. If anything, I'm actually looking to add maybe a black or a white if I see a really good, you know, pristine condition one on the pre-loved market. So yeah, really highly recommend. So among these four, obviously I use this quite a bit, but this is definitely the second, or maybe they're pretty much about the same in terms of how often I use it. So really like this one. And if you think about this bag, if you count the price of the strap, it's more expensive than, well, definitely more expensive than these, and it's about the same as this price here. So okay, let's move on quickly. The WOC, again, an SLG, technically not a bag. I've talked about this one quite a bit too. The chain is just too long, I think, for a lot of people to carry crossbody. It's not a bad thing to have extra chains, but it just means you have to figure out your own way to adjust it. Some people, you can tie it inside the flap, or you can just make a loop like how I just did it now. I think the main thing about this bag is the fact that you have to transfer all your belongings from your wallet to the bag itself, which is a hassle to do, and that's the main reason why I have not really touched it for a while. When I have to use it quickly, I actually just like put my card holder in there and my phone, and it does fit that comfortably. And hand sanitizer, if I can squeeze one in. You can put the mask in the back. So it still works as a mini purse. I never bother to like put my cards in each one of the slot. I never do that anymore because it doesn't work for me that way. Yeah, it's a classic piece. It is very nice and still very beautiful, but I have to be perfectly honest, it is one on my list that I'm considering letting go potentially. So yeah, it's in the caviar and gold. It's my very first Chanel, so there is a lot of sentimental attachment to the bag for sure. So I'm still debating, but anyways, that's next in line. And then the last three here, which are, I almost feel like it's a different category because these three bags really can hold a lot more and they function quite well as an actual bag. So even though they are called the mini size, they are very functional. They're not your typical kind of like, oh, you have to squeeze or make room and play Tetris with it and to make it work. They work perfectly fine with just your average things in there. You're through your phone, you're through. I would just have to say, like with a Loewe lining, because it's the fabric, I would highly recommend you use a separate pouch or something to protect the lining of it, because over time it will get dirty. But I love my puzzle bag. You can check out my other videos on this mini puzzle. I think it's very neutral, super easy to go with any outfit. So this one, I definitely don't plan to let go. And easily as a crossbody. And then we have my mini Jodie, which I have been talking about for the past like 2-3 videos. This one can also hold quite a bit. And then of course my most beloved reissue mini, which is comparable to a mini in terms of capacity. A rectangular mini, maybe a little bit more than a rectangular mini, but this is such a classic piece. I also think the chain length is a lot more friendly as a crossbody. It's really, really awesome that it has the 4 grommet. I forgot what it's called, but the four holes on the top, which allows you to really like adjust, make it into a double chain bag, a double strap bag. So I really like that about it. And then I think it's, you know, it's just such a cute, beautiful bag to beautiful classic piece to use. So these 3, I would say, is not something I'm planning to let go. And I do, you know, I am drawn towards these sizes, and I consider would be okay if I add more that has similar capacity. Like, I think I'll be open to that. So I think in terms of choosing a mini bag, then I say maybe forgo the micro bags. Like if you're considering things like, there's the extra mini Chanel, for example. I think that might be too small. The extra Lady Dior's, I think those are just, oh, I forgot to bring my Lady Dior in the mix here, but like, I think that those are just too small. So if the bag is able to hold your phone and a little bit extra, so very similar to these sizes, I say go for them, because you will still feel comfortable and practical to use them. But if they can barely fit your phone, and you know, you have to really play with the bag to get things in and out of it, then I say maybe skip those ones, because in the long run I think you might not get into those as much as you want. Another point to consider is I do find larger bags in general give you a better proportion, because it does, you know, it does compare to the size of your body and kind of make you maybe having a slimmer effect. Also the proportion, like the ratio of the bag, has a factor in there as well. But I do think sometimes larger bag is more slimming. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, compared to a tiny little bag, especially in the winter with a heavy coat. I think that's just something I felt lately. Let me know if you disagree. So I think, you know, moving forward, the smallest size I would ever get into would be something to this mini reissue size, which I think it's a reasonable size for any handbag. It holds very similar actually to my classic flap. I did a comparison of those two as well. Because this is a single flap, that's why it can hold a lot. But definitely more than enough for you to go out on a daily, regular basis. So it's, you know, it's a very practical, convenient bag. Those are things I will consider a bit more and be mindful of when I'm buying bags in the future. So to summarize, I guess, things to consider is small bag or medium bag do generally cost less, but I don't think they're as practical and might not worth the money in the long run. And also consider your own style and proportion, your height and everything when it comes to purchasing very tiny bags. I think that's all for today. I'm doing all this because I am going on a shopping spree in maybe 2-3 weeks, and I'm hoping to score something I like. So these are just some of the considerations before I make my next big purchase. So stay tuned for that. I have a few unboxing coming as well, so I hope you stick around, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!